Welcome back to another Bali COVID-19 update. This is April 14th, 2022, and my name is Bruce. I appreciate the comments about the short version, and we're going to continue on with that. And let's get into it because there's a lot to cover today. But first, let's not forget the weather. The wind speed is, it's drone wind speed, 1.4 kilometers per hour. I have got to get the drone out and upgraded and ready to go. And the temperature is 29.9 degrees and the humidity 65%, and it is another beautiful day in the neighborhood. And let's take a look at the numbers. How are the numbers? A little up, a little down. National cases, a little up. Bali cases, a little down. And national new cases, 1,551. So we're inching up a bit. National recoveries, 3,022, down a little from yesterday. National deaths, 29. Okay, these numbers are looking good. Well, 29 deaths is too many, but in the overall view of things, good. Bali new cases, 24. Okay, we're going back down again. Bali recoveries, 46, and no deaths in Bali reported yesterday. So good news. I'm going to talk a little bit more about COVID, I think 3 segments from now. Let's get started with the main stories. And good news, more flights coming into Bali. Ngurah Airport reopens Bali-Bangkok flight route. Yes, the president director of the airport management group made this announcement yesterday. The route is currently served by Thai AirAsia. The inaugural flight was on April 12th, 2 days ago, and it departed from Bangkok with 128 passengers and landed in Bali at 11:53 a.m. after a 4-hour journey. Now, I made that trip many times when I was working in Pakistan, but on Thai Air. And the plane returned to Bangkok at 12:56 p.m. with only 29 passengers. So not a lot of people going to Bangkok, but got some people coming. The route will be served twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Thailand is the 3rd Southeast Asian country that's reopened flights to Bali, joining Malaysia and Singapore, of course. And according to the president director, there are currently a number of airlines that are processing the reactivation of their flight routes to Bali through the Transportation Ministry. And he concluded, hence at the end of this week, there will be another reopening of international flight routes. Yes. Good news, and I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. Currently, Ngurah is serving 9 international routes: Singapore, Melbourne, Sydney, Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, Doha, Istanbul, Perth, and Bangkok. And the airlines operating these routes: Garuda, Singapore, Malaysia, Jetstar Asia, Scoot, KLM, Jetstar Airways, AirAsia, Qatar, Turkish Airlines, and Thai AirAsia. And more to come. Let's see what the future is bringing for us. According to this article in Bali Discovery, the number of airlines operating direct flights to Bali increases from week to week, and we know that 3 new carriers have recently applied for permission to land in Bali. Emirates, and I talked about that before, Vietjet Airline, and Philippines AirAsia. The head of the Aviation Authority for District 4, Putu Eka Kayadi, said that the reactivation has been confirmed as formal applications are already in hand. And I mentioned that Emirates is going to commence services between Dubai and Denpasar on May 1st. Vietjet Air will fly between Saigon and Denpasar in late April, and Philippines AirAsia will serve flights between Manila and Denpasar starting in early June. So with these 3 new international routes, we'll have the following roster of international destinations: Singapore Airlines, Singapore to Denpasar, Jetstar Asia, Singapore to Denpasar, Scoot Tiger Air, Singapore to Denpasar, a lot of Singapore flights, Qatar Airways, Doha to Singapore, Garuda, Narita Denpasar, AirAsia, Kuala Lumpur Denpasar, KLM, Singapore Denpasar, Singapore, originating from Amsterdam, Malaysia Air, Kuala Lumpur Denpasar, Turkish Air Istanbul to Denpasar, Jetstar Airways Melbourne to Denpasar, Emirates Dubai to Denpasar, Vietjet Air Ho Chi Minh City to Denpasar, Philippines Air Manila Denpasar, and there are plans afoot to add more flight frequencies to current operations by Singapore Airlines and AirAsia Malaysia. Great news. And if you've read the comments over the past couple of videos, you know that there's going to be some flights coming in from Brisbane too. So a lot of A lot of flights coming in. And here is a story I've talked about several times before. Indonesia passes draft bill on sexual violence. It's about time. Indonesia passed the draft bill on criminal acts of sexual violence, or the TPKS bill, during the DPR's plenary session on Tuesday, April 12th. According to Willie Aditya, chairman of the TPKS Bill Work Committee, he said that the passing of the bill is a form of state presence in protecting victims of sexual violence. He called sexual violence in Indonesia an iceberg phenomenon, and isn't that the truth? There are 9 types of criminal acts of sexual violence as regulated in Article 4, Paragraph 1 of the bill. They are non-physical sexual harassment, physical sexual harassment, forced contraception, forced sterilization, forced marriage, sexual torture, sexual exploitation, sexual slavery, and electronic-based sexual violence. Okay, covers a lot there. The bill also includes 10 other types of sexual violence listed in Article 4, Paragraph 2, namely rape, obscene acts, sexual intercourse with children, obscene acts against children, or sexual exploitation of children, and indecencies committed without the victim's consent. The bill also criminalizes child porn, porn with explicit contents of sexual violence and exploitation, forced prostitution, human trafficking for sexual exploitation, and sexual abuse in households. That's a big one. The Deputy Minister of Law and Human Rights said that the TPKS draft bill recognizes the types of sexual violence crimes contained in other laws so that the implementation of procedural law can use the TPKS draft bill. Good news, but there's more work to be done on this, and continue to cover this as it develops. Okay, I was talking about the numbers looking good, and I said I'm going to talk more about this. Risk of COVID-19 transmission still exists, task force. I mentioned this yesterday in passing. The head of behavioral change at COVID-19 handling task force, Sunny Harry B. Harmati, said that the risk of COVID-19 transmission in the community still exists. A lot of people think that this is gone, I think, because if you look around at mask wearing, boy, it is non-existent in parts of Bali. He said, take care of your heart, immunity, and health in the month of Ramadan. Regions whose PPKM level have decreased can relax various restrictions, which could consequently lead to an increase in public activities, which could consequently lead to an increase in cases. The task force reminded people that the world is not yet free of the pandemic, and people must continue to comply with the health protocols. And which health protocols did he specifically mention? Wearing masks and maintaining a safe distance. But apparently wearing masks is not being enforced in Bali anymore. We'll find out when I go to Sanur next week. So a reminder, get vaccinated, wear a mask. Social distancing, right, has never been a thing here, and so I've given up on that one. I do not want to get COVID again, especially with these new variants coming up. And here's something interesting, a price war on Sanur Fastboats. Okay, I've never taken a Sanur Fastboat. The prolonged COVID-19 pandemic has brought to dead ends for fastboat tourism accommodation entrepreneurs serving the Sanur, Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan route. And the peak of this occurred during the holiday period, the past holiday period, Christmas, New Year. And as a result of the price wars that were going on, the fastboat entrepreneurs lost a lot of money. Instead of getting profits, they were having difficulties maintaining their fleets. So aware of this situation, a group of young entrepreneurs decided to get together and make peace. No more price wars. And the fastboat companies mentioned here, Maruti, Kaspala Bali, Wijaya Buyuk, Idola, Angel Billabong, Samabu, the Tanis, Sanjaya, Ganesha, Axstone, Rayfish, and Starfish, and they decided to unite into the Sanur Fastboat Association as of April 11th, Monday. So they are now a group. And they said there may be competition, but competition will be in the aspect of service to users, not cheap price wars. With the establishment of the Sanur Fastboat Association, they hope that there will be no more fastboat entrepreneurs slashing prices, and if there are, they are going to be sanctioned. And this includes the pretext of promotions as a place to sell cheap tickets. So in addition to this price war, there is another issue now, and that's the scarcity of Pertalite fuel. So they're having to use Pertamax in some cases, and Pertamax is much more expensive. And so they said, this is our consideration. If you have to use Pertamax, it's clear that operational costs are going to soar, and that is going to be a problem in a lot of businesses. So members of the organization will be competing in terms of service. What about the price? We agreed that the price of an economy ticket is $75,000 per person one way, and a tourism ticket is $250,000 per person one way. Now, I've never been on the boats. I don't know the difference between the economy ticket and the tourism ticket. If anybody has been on the boats and can clarify the situation for me and anybody else that may be using these and want to know, please leave a comment below. So these prices are based on using Pertalite type fuel. If Pertalite disappears from circulation or is rare and Pertamax has to be used, ticket price is going to go up. Some changes in Fastboat service from Sanur. And that is it. If you found this video helpful, useful, informative, non-irritating, amusing, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Videos are every day, Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday there is a cooking video, and you can see one up here. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow.